What's up everybody, this is Jeremiah, and today I'm going to be reacting to the video when Kisame rage rated my guy into opening the 6 gate to save team guy by Cage to Dawn. Now, I'm not a Naruto fan, but when I watched this, it was crazy. Like, no joke, and you got the two staples here, Rock Lee and Neji, and Tenten, and Tenten's Tenten. When that happened, nah, Kisame, you actually you rage baited the wrong type of person. He really did rage bait the wrong type of person. So I forgot who won this fight, but I opened it to my guy because I haven't watched Naruto Shippuden in a long time. Like I finished it probably almost like 14, 15 years old, like way back. So it's like it's hard to remember. But this one was crazy. Without further ado, let's react to the video.
Okay, so boom! The scene kicks off with the Akatsuki huddled up in this cave doing what the Akatsuki do best. They over here plotting and scheming while also sucking the soul out of Gaara, extracting every ounce of Shikaku by the minute. But they also know that a bunch of Hidden Leaf and Sand Shinobi are on their way to snatch him back. So they all decide that in order to get this done, someone's gotta go out there and fight them to buy them more time. But before Itachi could even finish proposing the idea, this nigga Kisame is begging him to be the chosen one. I volunteer tribute. Ass boy, brother, chill. I've never seen someone so eager to take a L in my life. That man got a slight taste of Guy's aura from the last time he was in the league, and he's had a crush on him ever since. We then cut to Team Guy running through this desert-like terrain, determined to find Gaara. But while running, Pakun smells a nasty, rotten tuna fish odor approaching them. So Neji wastes no time activating his Byakugan to fish out the threat, and after a few seconds of observation, he breaks his neck like he just seen a dumpy walk by and tells them that the threat is behind them. So they all whip their heads in the opposite direction, and that's when we see this giant blade slicing through the terrain looking like a shark on the prowl. The blade eventually smashed into a boulder, causing a bunch of debris to obstruct everyone's view. But once the dust fades, we see the aquatic roach posed up like he modeling for GQ. Who is this nigga feeling like Pika off guard? He is trying to look all nonchalant. Nigga, nothing is over there. What are you looking at? And if that wasn't embarrassing enough, his aura farm attempt becomes even more of a failure when Guy hits him with the who the fuck is this nigga? Almost busting a blood vessel, trying his hardest to remember where he knows this beast from. Kisame, now feeling very insulted, fires back by saying his memory is as bad as his haircut and that his intelligence is subhuman. So I instantly hit the pause button and rewinded just to make sure I heard that correctly, because there's no way this nigga wants to talk about looks. First off, please chill on my guy's supercuts ass hair. Is it hot ass? Yes, but can he still whoop your ass? Also yes. Secondly, you have no right to be talking about subhuman anything. Nigga, you're subhuman. Looking like you snuck on the earth. What even are you? Extraterrestrial ass nigga. With a face like that, you had no choice but to become a villain. Nothing about you gives safety. After attempting to jog Guy's memory a little bit more, he eventually gives up on talking and decides to give him a more visual demonstration of who he really is. So he throws Samehada into the air, then claps his hands together to boot up his exploding water shockwave jutsu, and now the entire landscape is being flooded with water while Kisame surfs on the wave towards them. So Team Guy jumps out the way to avoid the first set of waves. Then this nigga Kisame triples the height of the next one and tries to swallow up Guy with it, but Guy quickly retreats just in time. Neji then decides to put his Byakugan to use and starts glazing this nigga's chakra levels, stating that his levels are on par with Naruto's, which is why he's able to use such chakra consuming jutsus. They do not call him the tailless tail beast for nothing. But mid-glaze, a giant wave comes rushing towards them, so they all jump out of the way. But while in the air, Kisame emerges from beyond this wave and tries to slice Guy in half. So Guy dodges the swing, then attempts to kick his head off, but unfortunately for him, it was just a water clone. Kisame, clearly geeked off that fake out, tries to slice up Guy a few more times, but Guy weaves both attacks. Then Lee joined the battle by kicking Kisame's wrist, causing his sword to fly out of his hand. The jumping then becomes even more egregious when Neji leaves this nigga no room to catch his breath by hitting him with a nasty 8 trigrams air palm, which sent him flying back. And to put the cherry on top, Tenten, with no instructions, just pure battle IQ, rushes a giant kunai spiked ball right at his face, which he blocked. But Tenten, with the big brain play, made this a triple threat attack by slapping a paper bomb on it and letting that thing blow right up in his face. Not only attempting to turn him into tuna confetti, but also attempting to stab him up with one of the kunais. Now, Kisame did manage to swim away unscathed, but this is a perfect example of effort being able to take you very far. Some of y'all think I just hate for no reason, and that's simply not true. This nigga is a walking storage unit, no other redeeming qualities, and still she is more effective than Sakura. After searching for him for a little bit, Neji sniffs him out, forcing him to reveal himself. So he rises back to his feet, ready for round 2, and in the blink of an eye, Guy Sensei jumps in the air ready to attack. Kisame then charges in towards him and swings his giant sword at Guy, forcing him to flip out the way. So Neji tries to take advantage of the opening by hitting him with a gentle fist, but that junk unsurprisingly gets blocked with ease. He then flips out the way and allows Rock Lee to summon with this garbage ass attack, but Kisame swats that nigga so hard his bummy weapon splits in two while also sending him flying back to a rock. So hard his bummy weapon
bring this bummy
splits in two while also sending him flying back to a rock.
You know,
all 3 of those failed attempts have them brainstorming some more on how to defeat him, but my goat Tenten connected the dots first and says that if close range attacks don't work, then long distance attacks will. So she whips out her scroll and sends a bunch of kunais with paper bombs attached to them zooming towards Fish Stick's face, but he blocked them all with his sword. Then shortly after the paper bombs detonate, this goof starts talking about something. How'd you like that? See, you're about to piss me off now.
that did nothing. That 10-10, don't be talking. 10-10, like Cage just said, you are a unit. You're a storage unit. Don't be talking crazy now. Please, don't be talking crazy.
You don't have a single move in your arsenal that gives you the confidence to say, how do you like that? No! Every one of your attacks should be followed by a quick prayer begging the man above to let it have done some type of damage. Keep it humble. To nobody's surprise but Tenten's, Kisame emerges from the smoke untouched, and now the hamster wheel in Guy Sensei's head is slowly starting to turn. Talking about some, of course, that sword of his.
That weapon! It's yours, right?
Whose else could it be?
That's right.
All these clues, including the sword, the robe, and let's not forget his 6'6" Michael Jordan X Great White Shark build, he's still unable to remember him. And at this point, the insults from Kisame are becoming valid. Because now that I'm thinking about it, how the hell do you forget a tall-ass aquatic roach that infiltrated your village? No,
exactly.
Give this man an MRI stat. He definitely got a slight case of CTE. Guy eventually gets sick of being insulted by Kisame and now his students, so he zestily jumps in the air and cocks back his fist to plant one on him, but that junk gets blocked. Kisame then blocks another attack, weaves this kick, then counters with a sword swing that Guy manages to dodge. So Guy charges back in with another knuckle sandwich, but Kisame catches that fist with ease. Guy then tries to kick the gills off Kisame's face, which he dodges, but the attack was also meant to steal Kisame's sword. So he hooks the handle with his foot and starts to surf away, and while he's gliding back, Guy gives his team the go-ahead to attack. Now all 3 of them are right above him, ready to lodge that nigga into the earth like they're playing whack-a-mole. But Kisame does some quick thinking and boots up 3 water clones just in time to block them. And not only did he use them for defense, he also used them for offense too. He quickly activates his water prison jutsu, and now all 3 clones are sucking them into their prison, cutting off their access to that precious O2 that we all need.
Oh,
Look
no.
at Lee over there fighting for his life, talking about some nigga, close your mouth. Brain just as smooth as Guy's. What sense does it make to have your mouth open while Kisame is actively drowning you? Use your common sense. Guy tries to save them by charging in with Kisame's sword, then cocking it back ready to give us the cleanest beheading since Ned Stark. But Samehada is not no hoe. You can't just use her body all willy-nilly. So she saves him by pushing out her spikes just in time, forcing Guy to let go. And now my guy is stuck watching his most cherished students and Tenten waste away in the water spheres. And if we thought things already weren't going in his favor, Kisame's sword zooms back over to its master, leaving Guy Sensei in an even worse position than he started. But since Kisame's out here abusing weapons, Guy decides to try and even the playing field a little by grabbing a weapon of his own. So he reaches into his backpack to grab a little mouse tool, then starts switching that to He actually whipped out some nunchucks and starts whipping them around, trying his best to intimidate, bro. But if I'm being honest, I often find it unsettling and kind of cringy when niggas do all this extra stuff before fight. Like, brother, are we fighting or having a dance battle? Let me know. But I'll give Guy a slight pass with the nunchucks though, because that boy was whipping it so hard that he managed to make a little shockwave that splashed up some water on Samehada. That little display of power must have did something for Kisame, because now he's laughing hysterically while charging at Guy. So Guy charges at him too, and now the...
What's up, everybody? Enjoying the video? That's great. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications so when you know I upload another video. Also, tune into the live streams. We're live on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. So pull up on either one of them that seems fit for you. Without further ado, let's get back into the video.
Real fight has commenced. I may cook Kisame a lot, but don't get it twisted, he is definitely amongst the elite. Keep the weave, block, weave. Ultra instinct mode activated, and Guy tries to hit him with a front flip heel kick, but not only does he prepare to block it, Samehada was ready to slice up some Guy meat again with these 3 spikes. The two then separate and start running side by side until another water clone appears behind Guy with his fist clenched. But this gangster Guy no look one taps the clone like a pesky fly, then charges right at Kisame. Both of his attacks do end up getting blocked and weaved, so Kisame gushes a wave of water at Guy, which he easily dodges, then tries to counter with his nunchucks. But this man Kisame is just too nice. Kisame then throws his sword into the air, puts his hands together, and starts weaving the signs for his water shark bomb jutsu. And for some reason, instead of running away, Guy doesn't move and just lets that shark bomb bust in his face. Kisame then complements that attack perfectly by grabbing Samehada and attempting to chop Guy in half. Now Guy is trying his best to hold him off with the nunchucks, and you can tell Kisame's strength is nothing to play with. Eyes widen, nostrils flared, teeth clenched. He really giving Guy a run for his money. He even cocks his fist back and punches Guy down all the way to the bottom of this deep ass ocean that he created. And if things weren't looking bad enough, this man Kisame slaps his hand on the water talking about some water style 5 hungry sharks. Then these big ass great whites start swimming around Guy trying to eat him. And man, were those sharks hungry. The way they were trying to eat him up, you'd think they were real sharks who needed food to survive. Guy was really getting bullied down there, and he could sense Tenten's chakra fading, which means she was running out of time. So that left our goat with no other choice but to open up them gates. When I seen that first vein pop up on his forehead, I immediately shot up on my feet because I just knew the cook up was gonna be spectacular.
Yes,
with
sir.
every gate that passed, I became more and more giddy, grinning from ear to ear like a kid on Christmas. Once we got to the 6th gate though, that's when shit really got wicked, because Guy's green aura began to ooze out of his pores, easily destroying all of the sharks around him. The aura was so strong it managed to push all the water around him back, leaving Kisame stunned and upset. Neji and the others could obviously sense the commotion taking place around us, so like the G he is, he took advantage of Guy's distraction and 8 trigram 64 palmed his way out of the prison.
Yes, sir.
Pieced up 2 of the water clones. Rock Lee's prison then dissipates, so he hits the last clone with 3 wicked kicks that destroyed him while also setting Tenten free. And now there was only one more Kisame to take care of. So Guy hawked that man down and kicked the shit out of Kisame with such speed that he hawked that man down and kicked the shit.
Yo, look. Nah.
Out of Kisame with such speed that his leg caught on fire. Kisame didn't even have time to recover from that punch because Guy teleported in front of him and gave bro the fastest, most fiery barrage of punches I've ever seen. The man was getting cooked figuratively and literally. Fried fish was definitely on the menu because this alien was literally on fire. And to give us the confirmation that bro was really finished, the cameraman hits us with the classic triple replay of this punch, indicating that that was indeed the deciding blow. And now Kisame's body is sizzling on the ground while Guy and the others walk over to see the damage that's been done. But once they get a close enough look, they see that the man that is laid out before them is definitely not the water roach they were just fighting, meaning that Guy did not take out the real Kisame. It was simply a clone, leaving the whole team in a state of confusion and also bringing about the end of this fight. Overall, a pretty decent battle. I high-key wanted to see more from Lee and Neji, but I don't really have a choice, so I guess I'll take what I can get. I'll give Rock Lee a B and Neji a B+. Both of them got caught way too easily by that water prison jutsu, and I'm really only giving Neji the better grade because he was able to break out first. 10-10 gets a B-. The effort was there, but the skill unfortunately was not. Mike Guy gets an A. I low-key felt like he was playing around a bit in the beginning. Not one of his attacks connected before he opened the 6th gate, but he got the dub, so I can't hate too hard. And last but not least, Kisame gets an A-. The man was getting jumped. Mind you, this was only a 30% clone, and he still managed to have Team Guy's back against the wall. He did do his thing, but in the end, all of his hacks were still no match for the Taijutsu King himself.
Absolutely.
I don't really wanna know.
Yo, shouts to Cage to Dawn, man, for this video, man. Yeah, this fight was not bad. It wasn't. I won't say it wasn't like terrible or anything, but it was a decent fight. It was a decent fight. But I can't. But a clone doing that much, damage to your team like that, and that's not the real guy. Ooh, that's something to be worried about for real. Because a clone, a legit clone, it could be any type of clone, water clone, air clone, whatever, doing that much damage to your team, and you ain't fought the real person yet. Oh, that's scary. That is really scary. I mean, you gotta lock in, fight the real person. But I got the W, so hey, it is what it is. A win's a win, alright? A win's a win. But again, shout out to Casey down for this video, man. The original video will link in the description down below. Follow me on all the socials. With all that being said, this is Jeremiah. God bless you. Jesus loves you. Going to be saved. I'm out. Peace.